Hello, and welcome to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show podcast with Astrologer Shelley Overton.
Hi, and welcome to the September 2nd edition of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show podcast with me, Shelley Overton, your astrologer in Central Florida. Wanted to welcome you. Interesting time I'm recording this. I'm recording it at 12:33 p.m. on September 22nd. And so it just turned September. We have new energy. It is the energy of 9, the number in numerology. We came out of 8, which is money and structures, and now we're in 9, which is endings and a culmination of a story. So we are also recording this at almost exact Mars opposite Neptune. And I'm not kidding you, I definitely feel it. I have 4 planets, as those of you who have listened a long time know. I have 4 planets in Virgo. I have Mercury at 4 degrees. I have Uranus at 11, Pluto at 14, and Sun at 17. And right now, Mars is at 22 with the Sun at 10, and Mars is exactly opposite. So Mars is at 22:04, meaning 4 minutes of astrological time, and that is measured by how long it takes a planet to go around the Sun. So each degree is a division of that 360-degree circle, and then each degree, based on how long it takes to go around the Sun, is going to be greater or lesser than Earth. So Mercury being a little closer and Venus on the other side, both of them have fairly similar degrees to Earth time. Not exact, but close. Whereas Mars is a little bit farther out, so a degree is going to be broken down into minutes that are a little bit longer. Mars is at 22:04 and Neptune is at 22:06. So they are very, very close. Mars will be there, I would say, by the end of today, a direct opposition. Let me just look and see if it actually is written down in here, which I suspect it is. Happens at 10:43 a.m. Pacific, 10:43 a.m. Or p.m., Eastern. So right now it's 12:35. So just a little bit, like less than an hour, right over an hour from now. If that gives you any idea of how long a minute for Mars is, a minute in Mars is relatively 1 hour of Earth time. Yeah. But it's definitely affecting me, and you may feel it too. So what the energy is Mars in Virgo wants to take action, wants to go, wants to do, has so many things and tasks. Really big schedule list maker and task maker. Opposite Neptune, which rules Pisces, Pisces is very chill. Pisces probably rules reggae music and pot smoking. But definitely feeling like I just want to chill. I don't feel like talking, and that is a Pisces thing. Talking, Virgos are pretty chatty, and that's probably the reason I have a podcast. But Pisces is very quiet. If you know Pisces people, like I have a Pisces friend, and she's very boisterous and very gregarious, but I think the part we connect to in her personality is her intuitive side. So Pisces is really intuitive, but, depending on the other planets, you can have a boisterous Pisces. You can have someone, because remember, Jupiter is also a ruler of Pisces. And Jupiter likes to be body, likes to say things the way they are. Mars wants us to take action. We have to go, go, go. They are the workaholic sign. Well, Virgo is the workaholic sign. Mars is an action taker. Mars in Virgo, workaholism. And so having it exactly opposite Neptune, it's the universe telling you to slow down, telling you need to have some quiet time. You need to take time to yourself, absolutely, because Virgo wants to be in their own space. They do really well with alone time. And Pisces really never was one child to have a problem with time out. They like time out because they have a very rich imagination. And so Pisces filmmakers of the zodiac, storytellers, archivists, they're going to be the ones who have plenty to keep them busy in their own mind, in their own space. So Mars opposite Neptune, absolutely chill pill, time to take time off, quiet time, meditation time. I was thinking of doing yoga today. I think part of the reason I really like yoga, I just like to connect to the earth. And I find that when I do yoga, I can ground the energy out of my body, which Sun in Virgo at 10 degrees today, Mars in Virgo at 22, you're going to feel a lot of electrical energy. I go for a walk every night, and if you follow my Instagram, which is Artful Shelley, you see that I have a couple cats. My cats are outdoor cats. They're a rescue from the farm I lived on, and they follow me because we used to go for a walk around the acreage at night. And so every night they're like, let's go for a walk. It's time for a walk. And so they follow me down the subdivision I'm in, and we just go for a walk on the sidewalk. And it's a nice little activity. But the weather is so hot here in Orlando and humid that sometimes I just feel like I don't want to go for a walk, which really is not good for my energy. And Virgo energy, that was the point. Every night I set out, and lately I've been going after dark because it's really a lot cooler, and the light across the street goes out as I walk by it. And a couple weeks ago, I flipped the switch on the outside light, but I was a little agitated when I did it, and I blew it out. And I don't know if a lot of you recognize that in yourselves, but I've blown a lot of lights out just turning on a light switch. If I put too much intention into it, the energy goes right through the system, and I'll blow out lights. And sometimes they'll blow out with a pop. It won't be just like off. It'll be like pop. So yeah, you need to ground your Virgo energy. It's a thing. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury right now is in the air sign of Libra. Libra, both Virgo and Libra are really similar in energy, I find. It's interesting, I've mentioned this before, but I will repeat because it's the way to learn. Virgo is intellectual and analytical. Libra is an air sign which answers to Mercury. Air acts like Mercury, but answers to Venus. At least Libra does. But Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, and they're analytical. So when Mercury's in Libra, absolutely it can act more like Gemini. It can act up in its head, but its focus, instead of being what I want to say, which Gemini does, how I express myself, what I have to contribute mentally, Mercury in Libra is more pure love, balance, relationships, ideas around communication within relationships. And so you'll see a lot more of that. But because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and Mars is in Virgo, and Sun is in Virgo, they answer to Mercury in Libra. And so our thoughts are more around balance or more around peace, because Libra is a very peace-loving, diplomatic sign. And so we're probably a bit more quiet. I think Libra is a really beautiful energy expression of Venus, and isn't given to a lot of the dramatic energy, say Leo would have, or Scorpio, but it is very peaceful and peacemaker. So we want to be calm. We want to be mellow. We're thinking, you are still thinking, but you're thinking about relationships and connecting to other people. How can we get along? How can we be diplomatic, which is really good for the news stories of the day, because there's a lot of conflict. Let's be honest. There's a lot of conflict going on right now. So Mercury in Libra is going to be there a little bit longer this month than normal because, yes, Mercury has been speeding through the signs. Mercury retrogrades at 25 degrees. Oh, the angels are coming in. Yeah, 25 degrees of Libra going back to 10 degrees. So we have not hit the shadow period, which begins on late evening in the 6th. So anything you want to do moving forward to initiate a relationship, do it before the 6th. because you're going to go back over that. And when we hit the shadow period, which goes from the 6th of September, wrong month, I keep flipping pages here, 6th of September through the 26th of September, so 20 days of shadow period, and then the 27th through the 17th, so another 23 days. And then at the end, we have another 2 weeks of retrograde shadow. So we finish up the story between this 18th of October and the 3rd of November. So we've got this whole month of September and October pretty much with Mercury and Libra. And that's a long time. Yeah, I mean, of any sign to be in Mercury and Libra, it's going to be difficult for balance with partnerships and balance with spouses because it's about communication, which is Mercury, and Libra, which is that partnership and diplomacy. So while we go into the energy of Mercury in Libra initiating the retrograde shadow, after we get through the initial retrograde period, we will review what we've learned. That is the issue from that 6th of September through the 26th of September is the initiating period. So it's when we have issues with partnerships and communication that we will be going back over for the last 5 days of September and after the second week of October, 17th of October, we will go over the last those degrees again and finish up. And I have to apologize. My brain is a bit foggy right now. This Mars in opposition to Pisces, Neptune, definitely hitting me right now. And anyway, my apologies, but I want to get this recorded before it becomes exact. So yeah, the Mercury energy is going to have us really up in arms with our partners, with our relationships, wherever that falls in your chart. Synopsizing, it's in Aries. Aries people have a natural Libra house, so that's mostly the most purest form of Libra energy with Mercury because it's going to be your marriage partner, your business partner. It's literally your partner. In the second house, you're going to have it in the, let me see, I'm just rotating the chart. Why do I do this to myself? So a little time out here for an aside. My brain is getting a little wacky right now because, and this is a hazard of astrology, the chart, which I just printed out, this is this week and this is next week. When you look at astrology, you have the planets going clockwise, but the rotation of it all is counterclockwise because we have the Earth rotating. So when I'm trying to picture, because I'm visual, when I'm trying to picture in my head which way to interpret this, and I usually can visualize how things look, but I was getting confused between the way the planets were rotating and the way the chart was rotating as I rotated. So I was thinking, does it go up or down? So what happens is when you have Aries on the first cusp and you rotate it to Taurus, we're looking at Libra. What does Taurus become for Libra become for Taurus? It becomes this house, which is the 6th house. But I wasn't sure if it was the 8th or the 6th. I was having to print out my little chart so I can not get my directions screwed up for you. So I know this is a lot of detail, and if you're new to astrology, it can be a little overwhelming. This is just the mind of a person who studied it for going on 45 years, which I don't want to talk about. Anyway, I have a birthday next week. So as Paul Simon said, I hung another year on the line, or I'm about to. Anyway, so getting back to our initial focus, which, you know, if you know me, you know that I have a lot of tangents, and that's an Aquarian thing. It's also a Uranus thing, which happens to be right near my sun. So, along with Mercury. So, you know how my mind can get distracted. Anyway, here we go. So, Taurus puts Libra in the 6th house. And so the Libra energy of the Mercury retrograde is going to fall in getting along with people in the workplace and getting along with within your job and balancing yourself there. Gemini, it goes into children And so, Gemini, you're going to be dealing with balancing your interests with children and communication with children. And that can also be teachers and education. Definitely Gemini rules education, so it probably more focuses on that kind of energy or subconscious, like when your workplace is affected, that would be the subconscious of how you express yourself in the workplace also. But literally for Gemini risings or Gemini sun, it will be your house of romance, creativity, and children. And so that can be a little bit slopped over into your love life. Cancer, Libra, and the Mercury retrograde will affect you in your house of home and family. And so you're going to have issues potentially. Let me say, Venus is at 28, so she won't be an issue. In the next couple of weeks, it'll be, Venus and Mercury in Libra. And then the moon will be there also next week, a week from now. So next week we'll be talking about that. And then, Cancer, it's home and family and getting along with those you live with or those who are close to you. Leo, you're going to have it in the house communication. So that's where your balance is. Are you allowing other people to speak? Are you talking more over people? And it's a fair give and take. And then people are going to feel like you're not necessarily hearing them out. Virgo, you're going to get this in your second house of money, and it's balanced with actually potential cooperation with a partner in how you promote yourself and get the word out about what you create, what you have to sell, or how your money comes to you. It's going to be about collaboration, cooperation there. Then, of course, Libra, it's in your first house of self. Are you getting your needs met? Are you able to express what you want? Are you listening to other people in what they have to say? Is there a balance with who you are and how you interact with your partner, and are you speaking up for yourself? Scorpio, it's in your 12th house, so you may be thinking, hey, I want someone in my life, I want a partner, I want someone to commit to, or I'm thinking about love in general and wanting to bring that person in, or potentially needing alone time, either with a partner or away from a partner, depending on where it is in the retrograde. So initiating, there could be some issues coming up for you in the first shadow period about, I want to connect to my partner, but maybe you're a little shy to do that. That's the Pisces house. Maybe you're not, if you're not in a relationship, you're thinking, I want to be in one, but you're maybe not quite there yet to put it out in the world. You're just kind of culminating what it is you think about love and marriage and partnership. Let's be honest, I'm a Scorpio rising, so this also relates to me. And it's interesting doing this reading and going, well, that's you. And it's true. Starting to think about how that would look in your mind. And really, Pisces, the 12th house for Scorpio, is a really great visualization part of your chart. So you're starting to really bring together the visualization of what you want that partner to look like. And if you're in a relationship, you may need some alone time. You may need time away to really process what your thoughts are about that relationship, because Mercury is also about thoughts. See, Sagittarius, it falls in your house of friendships and people you work with, associated with your career, and how you can connect with someone collaboratively who may actually further your career and your finances at the same time. It is also about social interactions that are voluntary, and so doing more volunteer work could be really good for you. And then Capricorn, we have Libra in your career house. It is about cooperation, about a balance with other people. Don't always take ownership, and remember that it is give and take. It isn't all about you doing all the work, which also means you have to let go of some of the control. So it is about cooperation and diplomacy. It's a really great word for Libra. Okay, Aquarius, you're in trine to Libra, and that goes for Gemini as well. So it's a cooperative energy, but there may be some stunning shifts that go on during this Mercury retrograde. And so the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, I want to give you a big heads up for that, because it is how you think of things. And I got big chills with this, that it's going to be a time where something may shift your thinking, and there may be somebody in your life who greatly shifts your thinking about how you two interact and what you want from that situation. So Aquarius, it's going to be in travel, cooperation at work, people you may meet that balance you out in a foreign environment, or people who are of foreign culture that you're cooperating with or connecting to. It can be somebody, I get chills with this big time, it can be somebody you're interested in, but I can tell you this is the time where it's going to be 2 steps up and 1 step back, and the 2 steps up may be the initiating energy of the Mercury retrograde shadow, first shadow. So that is, again, September 6th through the 26th, and then the 26th through the 16th or 17th of October is the adjustment period for what you have to cooperate with and how you interact, and then it will culminate. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen after the 17th, like as an entity. And Aquarius, you are a little more skittish getting into relationships. You tend to detach your emotions, so you don't want to necessarily live in the emotions of a relationship, but you do thrive on connecting and cooperative endeavors. So you're going to really find that foreign culture and people of foreign places, or even travel, for the sake of a partnership or relationship, may be more heightened at this time. And then Pisces. Pisces is an inconjunct to Libra, and so that makes it a little bit more difficult. You're going to not necessarily, and I'm going to say also Taurus feels an inconjunct energy, but again, Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus, and so you do have the commonality of Venus energy. It's like Gemini and Virgo, they're both ruled by Mercury, but they square each other. Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus, but they're in conjunct, which is a negative aspect. So you both have the same drive, but expressed differently. So your drive is towards love and cooperation, but Taurus, you're more into the physical, tangible, material world with it. So growing things together, the physical effects of love, whereas Libra, you're going to want to think about it and talk about it more. And so it's the same with Pisces and Libra, that Pisces is much more touchy-feely, much more needing that sweet cuddle, downtime, watching Netflix, watching things that are more sensitive, and old movies. They love old movies. Pisces is really into old movies. Libra is probably more active and wanting to get out of the house into the air, doing things that, flying somewhere or going up in a hot air balloon or breathing in fresh air. They're much more, or even endeavors that include analysis and maybe hanging out together, reading books, which is a very mellow activity, but that's kind of the energy that might be more cooperative with Pisces, is doing something that may include a downtime, but also include thinking and analysis or some type of mental endeavor. Anyway, so we got all that going on. And then this week we have I believe it is a new moon. It's either new or full. Yeah, it's new. New moon in Virgo, which falls on Monday the 6th. And so, again, the 6th kicks off the shadow period, and it seems to be one of the more active days. Let me see if there's anything else I really want to touch on. Oh, watch out for, I'm just going to jump into the weekly horoscopes. We've got Moon entering Libra, my mind, Leo, little alliteration dyslexia. Anyway, Friday afternoon, early evening seems fairly cooperative. We've got a sextile between the moon in Leo and Mercury in Libra. So that's really about building those relationships. Saturday is going to be an opposition of moon to Saturn. So this is the Leo Aquarius axis. And that's going to be about, are we connecting enough? Are we relating enough? Or do I need my own time? And then in the evening, we've got a Mercury trine to Saturn, and it's in air. So I would be very cautious about flying on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday flying, because it's a trine and it's Mercury. Very cautious, and it's approaching that shadow period. So I think that there's potential for some kind of travel energy, and also accidents in general, just be careful, because when we get the air energy or the mind involved, and this is strong Virgo, I'm very accident prone lately. Knock wood, I don't have any of their crayon box. It's made out of paper. Virgo is the accident prone time of the zodiac because Mercury can be so active, and it's in Earth. And so it's the material world. So bumping your knee and bumping your elbow and scraping. And I picked up glass this week, and now I've got a sliver of glass in my finger. I hurt my back last week. It's just a Virgo thing, and it's more specifically because Mercury is there right now. So just be very cautious coming up this week about taking a little extra time and thinking it through and not being so brash and quick to assume you know what's going on. Back to Monday the 6th. So it is a new moon at 14 degrees of Virgo. So the moon is, again, it's a new moon, so it's an initiating energy. Virgo is work. Great time to start a new job. Hang on one second. So new job, new school. Military is involved. It's Labor Day weekend. So, of course, Labor Day, Virgo. And so we're taking time to really think about where we want to go in the efforts we take in the material world. 14 degrees is the middle 10 degrees, the middle decan. And so that's about really digging in, putting the roots into the new endeavor. So it's a really great time to start something in a work environment. And then also there is a Kazimi Moon, which means that it's where the moon and the sun are at exactly the same point in the sky, the new moon energy, but it kind of lights up that half hour on each side of that exact time. And so I'll just tell you when that is. The exact time is 8:52 p.m. Eastern and 5:52 p.m. Pacific. I'll let you do the math for Central and Mountain. I know we always kind of give them short shrift on all these times. We go coast to coast. But anyway, that time zone, that timeline, is when it's really good to initiate that new project. So if you've got something coming in you want to do, like I'm thinking, I always have a number of projects that are flying around my brain, like doing a Reiki manual, writing a book of some sort, always a book, or initiating a class online, which I've talked about probably for a decade. And I'm sorry, I keep hitting the table that the camera's on with my knee, so if it vibrates, that's why. I'm sorry. Yeah, so the new projects, Monday the 6th, really good time. And that's the time I said again, 8:52 p.m. Eastern, 5:52 Pacific. I just do the times, sorry, because I never do the times. So it'll be 9:52 Mountain and 10:52. No, got that wrong. This is why I don't do them. 7:52 Central and 6:52 Mountain, 5:52 Pacific. And for my British friends, I think we're still on 5 hours difference. So it's going to be in the morning on the 7th at 1 a.m., 1:52 a.m. Sorry, 1:52 a.m. Anyway, okay, you can tell. I mean, my brain is definitely feeling that Pisces. I'm a little bit tired today, and I'm half a cup of coffee with caffeine. Tuesday, the 7th, moon opposite Neptune. So, of course, moon in Virgo, opposite Neptune, which is 22 degrees, and that's at 9:34 a.m. Eastern, 6:34 a.m. Pacific. And so Tuesday, waking up in the morning, probably having a little bit of tough time getting going, not wanting to leave the house, maybe doing work at home, school at home. It can also mean, and this is interesting, we have I just read yesterday about a new variant on the virus, and I did a chart for it. And interestingly, of course, Mars is opposite Neptune, and Mars is in Virgo, Sun is in Virgo. So there's activity around really getting a handle on the health of the situation and the medical aspects of the situation. So it's really good aspect actually to kind of understand how the variants motivate and what changes and what to do about it. There's definitely going to be kind of a head-to-head battle. It could potentially be a bigger variant. They say that the virus shot isn't necessarily as effective against this variant. And I can't remember, I think it was found in Colombia. So I did a chart for the moment I saw the information that there was a new variant. It's called Mu, M-U. And so let's see, I'll even call it up for those of you at home who want to look up. Let me see, Event Chart World. It was September 1st, 2021, 7:46 p.m. Eastern. I did it for Orlando because that was when I saw the article. It was in, I think it was a CNN article in the New York Times or connection to that somehow. You know, news channels always cross-pollinate. So, yeah, I think it was around that time. So anyway, we've got that. And because of that particular time, that Mars opposite Neptune. Neptune is extremely powerful, and it's powerful with fluids in the body and going through the bloodstream. So it's, you know, mucus, saliva, tears, and blood. I mean, who thought we had that much liquid in our bodies? But, you know, and also I suppose it could be anything, well, there's spinal fluid, there's all sorts of stuff in the body that's liquid. So, you know, that is potent with Neptune. And then the Mars opposition is like, now we're going to battle it, we're going to fight it, we're going to do the work. And so even though Neptune doesn't want to necessarily, pardon me again, doesn't want to give way, it wants to teach the lesson through flooding, through overwhelmment. We feel overwhelmed when Neptune is involved because there's so much coming at us all at once. Neptune, because of how slow it is, and also how far out it is, like in closer, like it's really the last slow planet before Pluto. So it's really far out in the system, the solar system, and it just takes forever to come through. So it really can pull a lot of energy into its modality, which is water, which is fluid. And so that it's like we're flooded with emotion, we're flooded with information, we're flooded with ideas and imagination. We can get paranoid, we can get overwhelmed. And, you know, there's an excess of ideas, an excess of emotion. It's interesting because I think last week I mentioned that there was a tremendous bang that I heard, and it turned out to be a head-on car collision 2 blocks from my house. And because of that ongoing Mercury Virgo connection and in opposition to Pisces Neptune all week long, and I've never seen this before. I'm sure that it happens. I've just never seen it, but almost every single day there are people visiting that site. And there were 2 this weekend, 2 groups of at least 7 to 10 people having memorials at the site of that accident. I've seen 2 others and I take it back, probably 3 others at least, individuals coming to pay their respects at that site. And I've got so many chills, I've never seen that many people go to an accident site before on a major thoroughfare continually. So, you know, we're really feeling it viscerally in our body with our emotions. Our sentimentality is on heightened awareness. And that's really uncomfortable if you're a Virgo. It can be really uncomfortable for any sign that squares Pisces or opposes, which is Virgo, and Gemini, Sagittarius. They're just not, Gemini, Sagittarius are just not the 2 signs that really want to stick around and dwell on the emotion. And I would add Aquarius to that, because as you go through the zodiac and you get to the next sign, the sign right before Pisces is Aquarius, which is very detached emotion. Pisces makes up for that detachment, and probably Aries doesn't particularly want to dwell in the emotion, because when you rotate through the zodiac, by the time you get to Aries, you've already been through Pisces and you've dealt with the emotion. You want to be done with it. You want to burn up that energy and be done. You know, if you think of a dryer, you know, you put your clothes in and it heats up the water and evaporates it. That's what Aries does to the water of an emotion of Neptune. And so by the time Neptune gets to Aries, we're going to feel that, like, now we've got boiling water and it's going to be scalding. So we'll feel that heat. We'll feel more like we don't want to be in the water. But right now we very much are in the water. And if you ask how long that is, I think it's between 5 and 7 years from now. Neptune finally, I think it's, let's see what year we are in 2022. I think by 28, we're going to get to Neptune in Aries. So yeah, that's a whole other story. We're not going to go there right now. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else I can tell you before next week. Moon conjunct Mars. That happens on Tuesday at 3:24 p.m. Eastern. And so that's going to be real strong agitation with teachers, or teachers saying we've had enough. I would say definitely with, sorry if I upset the voice on that. We're going to have teachers speaking up. I mean, in Florida, which is where I am, the mask issue is enormous, especially as it is associated with education. And, you know, teachers are the people on the front line, like healthcare workers, which are also under this particular aspect with all the Virgo signs. So healthcare workers and teachers, they're the ones who are going to be on the front line saying mask up. And Pisces, of course, Pisces is like, well, you know, let the fluids flow. And I'm not saying that, but the energy of Neptune is saying we're all part of this. And so when you have the axis of Virgo and Pisces, there is a synergy of understanding between where do we want to go with the collective, which is Pisces and Neptune, and where are we now, which is it was Mercury until recently, and it's Mars, which is taking the action in the collective, but it's also understanding where we are coming from in an intellectual capacity and analyzing it so that the collective can move forward with it. I'm really stuttery today. I apologize. I know I'm so self-aware. I'm a little bit tired. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but I'm probably going to end up editing out half this video with all my bloopers. Anyway, if you are here and I didn't edit some of this out, I apologize, but we're going to get past it. Virgo's a difficult time of the year for me because all of my Virgo is triggered, and it does make me much more self-aware, much more meticulous, and a little bit self-effacing. So, you know, if you're in that same boat, shout out down below. Let me know. I'm curious to know who is watching the podcast and listening. If you are a Virgo, if you're a Gemini, if you don't relate to this whatsoever, let me know. I really want to engage the following of this podcast, and please do share it. Please subscribe. And I think that's pretty much it for the week. I'm just going to leave it there. We'll talk to you again next Thursday. And really, if you're looking to do something on the new moon, initiating a new project is really what you need to do. Initiate school, initiate conversations, initiate a new job as a teacher, cleaning, caretaking, any of the medical industry, any of the service industry, and that also goes for military, service industry. This is your time. So laborers, I wish you happy Labor Day. I really do wish you would get it off like it was intended, and that you get that day off to really enjoy your family and not have to work. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have a good week. See you later. See you next week. Bye. After we get through the retrograde, initial retrograde here.
You have been listening to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show. If you would like to get a private reading with Shelley, please contact her through angeliczodiac.com or at so@angeliczodiac.com. You can arrange a reading through the Angelic Zodiac page at facebook.com as well. Check out Angelic Zodiac on Instagram for up-to-date information on events, discounts, blogs and planetary transits at Angelic Zodiac 1 on Instagram. If you would like to see Shelley's art, ShelleyOverton.com, or for astrology art, go to astroart.net. Music provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Other music will be credited within the show. Advice given in the program is intended for entertainment purposes only. Join us here next week for more of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show podcast. You can find us on iTunes and Google Play, and where podcasts are accessed.